on a special floor at the AG. We'll begin with the Indiana Fever, the cold wide, going back to Indigo, who was pleased with what his team, the rotations with the anchor, the back game, scoring 9 this entire game. A triple-double against the Chicago Wheaties this morning because she's about to go to work. The previous game on Tuesday is DeWanna Bond against Natasha Howard, and another. Much like Tuesday at Atlanta. Back to Natasha Howard, 3 on the shot clock. Coming, she starts this one off good. In this league, she knows how to play around the rim. Brittany Griner will line it up as winner. Ryan, again, out of urgency with those rebounds. 2. Get off. That'll be a turnover for Atlanta. Springy, tough as they get. With Tahina Pow as well. Elite in the WNBA all-time scoring list. Sending it back out to Pow. Tahina Pow going to the rim, I would say. Points in her scores. A couple of substitutions if Aaliyah Boston would come out because they need Aaliyah Boston in there to battle. Tapping it out top, sends it to Leah. Right, going at other second chance opportunity for Atlanta. Pass to Maya Caldwell over and over again.
It's a court design, though. Your merch can be here in today's game.
I mean, honestly,
that attention, it is bold, it is speed.
Around and see the court and see the excitement. Girls Club, and I just love the all well on social media as well for Atlanta. Plus defense was holding Fever. Game that she injured. Going right at Tahina Pow. That's her MO as Bree Jones was 3, but she can knock down her team. Lexi with 5. Centered for your post players to catch. So that's one thing, just understanding when in corner. Sophie Cunningham comes in. A lot of minutes, but in the previous game away. Bree Jones did it last game. Scored. Quarter. There's a lot of bumping clock, so they're hold for the last over. Cunningham. People might read into the chippiness minute mark, but it's up for Kimber on her as well. But I think it's a Clark to Hansy. Yeah, Alicia Gray was one of the, again, hits the mark. Think that Steph White, whatever she said, 7 points for Atlanta as the elite Dantas from the same 5 seconds to work with. In and in. Yeah, we saw them bring the double team of 3. Long heave, shing off. Kelsey Mitchell
moment. And when I asked them pre-season, I wanted to hear what they had to say, and right away,
players on the screen, well, that were just on the screen, and in the free agency in the offseason, under 11 points. A huge impact for Indy. Kelsey Mitchell, long. Griner looking to create some space. Mitchell mentioned about the adjustments that take her off the block, but DeWanna Griner shoot a 3 in this game. Atlanta's 19 points. Both teams, it's different to see Caitlin Clark. First quarter, we didn't hear a lot of whistles. That's Boston on knock down that 3 ball. A second, and then Indiana comes back. That was something that Caitlin Clark mentioned. One another, the dump pass on the inside. Just the first turnovers up baseline. Good to go. That went in. Ryan Howard trying to return their lulls on both sides, but adjustments that they made on the defensive end, especially about just the mentality and mindset that those for the Fever. Bree Jones under a short conversation with Alicia Gray for Atlanta with 3 fouls. Side. Natasha Howard going back to the first quarter. It's that Atlanta had when they put their. This second quarter has gone to the Indiana, especially off of the bench. Atlanta. Clock as Howard slips through and Caitlin to back. An easy dish on the inside. Started this game 1 for full Pow going against the committee. Jones and Nas Hillman. Comes the Jets for Indiana. Nas Hillman looking. And an offensive foul. Clark. Aaliyah Boston with 3 is in their place. Howard pulls up, triple. Clark. It's just 3 fouls, but credit Atlanta's deep. Pow will have to send it from almost half the 3 fouls as Natasha Howard shows you the depth that this Indiana team for bench points, 15 to points at first half. The second half a little bit smoother. Steph called the game there, have a tough job, and you don't. He asked for pace and low first quarter. She didn't. Atlanta by 3, and they're leading the scoring for the Fever. Far for Natasha Howard in this third game. Atlanta trying to find their way. Natasha Howard, pow from the corner, gets it. Kelsey Mitchell, a little 2-man. Sophie Cunningham working her with
Ryan Howard in that force.
a season ago. Atlanta actually was behind the back and just short up the floor. Tahina Pow again.
Morgan, before I went over to South Carolina, so they were in Canada saying she's been walking her throughout the
In it by committee is Kelsey Mitchell.
believed that she went in the second round.
Bruce also for Atlanta looking and 10 and threes made of me.
And Brianna Jones to this team.
Allowing the dribbler. Sophie Cunningham outside first finds Mitchell. Right off the bounce is able to get Indiana. With hole in the
Known for her shot blocking ability.
Shatoya lines it up. Bottom of who would have thought Atlanta 5? Who had that on the bingo card?
Atlanta.
Backdoor, more move.
To be comfortable down there, they got to get her
Another offensive
action.
Caitlin Clark. DB got the angle and
Is being more intentional when you go. So I like that she's made this in
fouls on Dewana Bonner. Clark found a lane
to sleep.
Caldwell dished underneath and now Tillman Colson finding Clark, and a foul on the bench right now is 5.
That's exactly what they have to do. They got to put the pressure in this game.
Honor quarter 3 in and out.
My goodness, this is a player who's third all time.
Tia Coffee are finding a way to miss
Howard. Caitlin Clark got
doubles, 3 triple doubles on her quarter. Pressure, no one slides over to guard. Not on the floor right now for Atlanta. She has Gray had all the time she needed.
in the dust.
King on the committee, pull up.
Backdoor press, it is there. And if it's so wants this team to put some pressure.
Caitlin Clark taking it out. She has 8. Hold the back door, and that's
Climb up here. It's been sitting at 21 since the middle of that.
Ryan Howard. Too strong.
How did he know how to pick sides?
I don't. Going at Natasha Howard. Couldn't get. Gets the back door.
You had them come in game 3.
Ryan Howard has been more aggressive last season as Lex for Ryan Howard sitting at 23. Natasha Howard battle make this a 1-point game and find something against Hull. The dish just
What?
because it has not been their night from out. Finds Aaliyah Boston, who gets what they elect to do is she was disappointed in the
Low lulls. She talked about giving them.
when Sophie Cunningham, Atlanta led by 9.
Just that. Still 5.5.
Caitlin Clark.
Leah Boston just frustrated with those 3 fouls, but credit Atlanta's D.
Ray held up 4 on the shot.
And they're still up 5. That shows you the depth that this Indiana team.
Right now, Indiana has the advantage for bench points, 15 to.
It was an overtime one where she dropped 36 points.
Smooth now at half court. With
Want the refs to call the game how they should call the game. They have a tough job, and you don't. Was the game that we wanted to see.
He asked for pace, and Kelsey Mitchell had a slow first.
And that's going to be the next level for Ryan Howard. So I like that she's made this in.
Now has 15. 3 Clark finding a way to miss.
Howard is in her face as she should be, but Howard, Caitlin
With 21, Ryan Howard. Too strong.
Carolina fan has the boo-hoo. How did he know how to pick sides?
I don't. Less than 10. Bree Jones after her. Gets the back door.